Bell rings, get in the square circle, it's time. The Boxing Biz podcast is live. Call in and state your mind, but get checked if you're stepping out of line. Jab right hand combination. We're interviewing fighters from every nation. The phone lines are busy. Have some patience. Your 3 minutes are up. No more conversations. The Boxing Biz, where we handle our business. Handle your business. We handle our business. Where we handle our business. Welcome back to another episode here on the Boxing Biz podcast radio show. Check us out on all media platforms, IG, TikTok, Facebook, give a little support, allow us to gain some traction here and continue to obviously grow this community. Shout out to everybody that tuned in yesterday on the episode. This is the 1 o'clock show, dubbing it the after lunch special. So get on here and talk our shit. Now, as we all know, right now as we speak, we got the weigh-ins going on for Keyshawn Johnson. Look, I've been saying this since yesterday. I don't know why I keep saying Keyshawn Johnson. It must be football or something. I don't know how it's embedded in my name, but in my head, Keyshawn Davis versus De Los Santos, right? Edwin De Los Santos, that is. And the weigh-ins are going on right now. So if you're watching them, cool. It's Norfolk, Virginia, stand up. We're definitely in Keyshawn Davis's backyard, and he's got the crowd for sure. So De Los Santos, he's got to really hone in if he wants to be super competitive in the fight with Davis. And again, make sure you hit the like, subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you want to know when we're going live. That way you guys stay tuned in. And, I got a couple of things to talk about because, obviously, yesterday's episode, Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney contract and some of that falling out. I know we spilled over into a couple of other topics, but having more light on that topic, obviously, after listening to some things that were said on a live space on Twitter. I think the name of the late night show is called Late Night Boxing Talks. Forget if that's the actual platform or if that's somebody else's, but anyway, kudos to them. They were on there, throwing their questions in there to Teo. Teo was live with them for a little bit. And I rather I liked some of the questions that were being asked. Obviously they have a guest on, so some of that stuff, that you normally would save for the trolls. I didn't hear no crazy talk, but there were some pressing questions, and then there were some answers that made sense from Teo. So we'll tap into that a little later in the show and talk about how that went. And basically trying to call. We're gonna call bullshit, or we're gonna just kind of understand what's going on in Teo's POV, right? Real quick, shout out to the comments section, right? My man Tycho TV, salute champy. There we go. You already know. Keyshawn Davis yesterday, though, man, the way he pressed Abdullah Mason was kind of, was kind of crazy. He did the same thing to Teo when they were at the presser. So Keyshawn Davis is about his business. He's about his business, man. When I seen him, he's trying to big brother Abdullah right now. And, of course, he stands real confident in his position as champion. So, Keyshawn Davis right now, he's sitting real high right now. And any of these, it's like a wolf pack, right? Eventually, you got the ones that are, coming up behind you, trying to take lead on that wolf pack. And it's funny because Keyshawn's, the Shakurs, all these four kings that we've been talking about, and I've heard this said already, but worth mentioning is that now they're the ones that you got the young fighters nipping at the heels, so to speak. So now you got to worry about, you got some real contenders, young contenders, prospect turn contenders that are coming up behind you guys. So you're gonna have to just accept it for what it is, you know. But Keyshawn Davis, obviously, he knows what it is. Abdullah's probably been mentioning his name, and as he should, right? And you know, Keyshawn decided to call him out on it, and pretty much that's exactly what happened. You know, the way Abdullah answered, it's not whether or not, you know, it's not whether or not Abdullah was scared or not. You got to understand, Abdullah's on his way up, right? Trajectory-wise, you know. His team, he's his own fighter, but he's a team. He has a team that, you know, obviously helps him with, you know, making decisions. And I didn't take too much from it with Davis trying to pull him into an agreement, into a fight. It's not going to happen like that. But obviously, good press. You know, made Abdullah, you know, kind of not stutter, but he made him kind of second guess what he wanted to say. And it's not to say that he was scared. It was just that, you know, you're in the eyes of millions. You want to answer. For all we know, if we were sitting at a bar and that would have happened, I'm pretty sure Abdullah would have said, let's fight. You know what I'm saying? But you're dealing with money. You're dealing with a lot of different dynamics when you're trying to get a fight going. So I think that, you know, even though it showed that Davis is really about his business, you know, and he's confident enough to pull guys' cards on stage while the pressure's going on. He did it to Teofimo. As you've been seeing Davis, you know, in the last 2 years, it's just, I mean, his attitude's always been the same. You know, you're gonna see me. You're gonna see who I am. And he's just been calling people out and, you know, making waves and making sure that people know his name. So good press for Keyshawn Davis. And, again, Abdullah not taking too much from it, not saying that he was scared to say yes or no. Contracts and fights are not built like that, but they're marinated like that, right? This is going to be a marinated fight now between a young fighter and both young fighters, really. But a fighter that's just right under, you know, coming up behind another fighter. It's going to be a good marination to that fight, which would be an awesome fight to see, right? I like Abdullah. I like the way he fights, really rangy. Yeah, he's gotten clipped, but, you know, what are we going to do? Look how long we held Salido over Lomachenko's head. So many years, right? And nobody ever did nothing much like that in comparison to him after. Again, shout out to the whole team that's tuning in, man. Shout out to the chat. Oh, got my man Joseph Supermax, aka Border Wars valedictorian and shit. That's what I'm gonna say. My man Supermax. What's going on? He says, yo, somebody activated the Doomatron. Bro, you know how I get, man. Check out last night's show, too, man. I'm really activated.
Doomatron activated.
I'm activated out here, champion. But thanks for tuning in, for real. My man Tycho TV says, Keyshawn pressing a guppy. Shaking my head. Yo, he is a little guppy, man. But he's not as guppy as you might guppy him out to be, bro. Remember, Abdullah Mason's, you know, whatever. He's younger, but he's a formidable fighter. And again, he's gotta get pressed. We got to see how he reacts to this. I mean, if it doesn't happen now, it's gonna happen later. It's gonna be as he rises, attitudes change. You get a lot better in the presser, you know, conversational wise. And again, you know, he was going to get pressed, man. You're talking. You must have said something. You must have said something for Keyshawn to come back and be like, you know what? I got to say something to him. So he must have been saying some things. And if you're talking, I mean, we going to check you. That's just the way it works. Yeah, it would be a firefight, Max. My man Max, chubby weight champion now, my man. Ooh, get him. My man, I think you stopped the last guy, right? If I'm not mistaken. Damn, matter of fact, I think you did, huh?
Finish him.
Finished them. Fatality them.
Fatality.
All right, so yeah, Keyshawn Davis though, just spinning back around to what the actual fight that he has tonight. I mean, excuse me, tomorrow. That little push and shove at the weigh-ins too with De Los Santos, man. De Los Santos reached for the belt, but I don't know if it was Keyshawn Davis's sneakers that he was wearing, platform shoes or what, but he seemed a lot bigger than De Los Santos. So, leading up to the fight, and obviously, you can get but only so much out of the weigh-in, right, and the stare down and all that, but I gotta say, Keyshawn Davis at the press conference. We're gonna see the weigh-in now, obviously, but he was looking definitely a lot bigger than De Los Santos. So, we're gonna see something that. And right now on the scales, you got Troy Isley, and he looks in shape, ready to go. Fighting Ituandi Michelle William, which not super familiar with, but probably oh snap! If you guys are checking out the weigh-in, the weigh-in's going on right now. Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos. I just got distracted because I don't want to miss Keyshawn Davis coming out. I want to see what the weight looks like, but he looked extremely big, way bigger than De Los Santos. I'm like, De Los Santos trying to reach for the belt and shit, like. You know what I mean? He's trying to grasp the belt, and I'm like, nah, De Los Santos, you reaching up, champ. Keyshawn low-key is kind of big. Or either that or he's grown a lot, man. He's definitely going to have, I think, the size advantage with De Los Santos. Definitely going to be able to impose his will. He's an aggressive puncher, Keyshawn, But calculated. That's what I like about Keyshawn, man. He's a calculated puncher. When you see his combinations, he has that killer instinct, obviously, but it just looks real clean the way he be throwing them body shots, well put, uses the right part of the fist, because sometimes these guys think that you're supposed to throw a body shot one or which other way, but there's a bunch of ways to hit the body, period. Not just the liver and the ribs, but just the body, period, with different parts of your knuckle. And I've seen some old school. Not old school, but like just some real solid technique coming out of Keyshawn. Super Max said, only thing missing is that moment was you raising my hand. Damn, champ. Hell yeah, bro. Good moments, man. Good moments for real, Super. I would have had the privilege. Raise the hand of the first chubby weight champ, I think, right? Or correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, so going back to Abdullah being pressed. It was pretty, something that excited the presser, and I'm just not gonna take too much from it, right? It's not. I know that later down the line, these guys will probably see each other. A lot of these guys at the top are gonna have to see each other already, even if you talk about the Four Kings, or even if you talk about just Davis and Shakur Stevenson, just the way the division is looking. And it's like somebody's got to go up, or somebody's going to stay and try to unify and get the belts. And that'll be them too, for sure. All right, so moving on, right? And look, we could matter of fact, let's talk a little bit about the card too, because in all fairness, Keyshawn Davis card. Remember, this is all happening in Norfolk, Virginia, man. This is gonna be super, super lit. And a lot of these guys, matter of fact, I think Shakur Stevenson, that's how Davis met Shakur. He went down and trained with them. And I believe that's how the relationship started between them two. So, okay, so yeah. So you got Kelvin Davis versus Nahir Albright. And you have Abdullah Mason versus Jeremiah Nakatilia. Now, how many people has Jeremiah Nakatilia fought that are the same opponents, right, or like opponents? And Nakatilia, he fought Shakur Stevenson, and trying to remember if he fought somebody else that was a common opponent. But I don't think, it was just Nakatilia that fought, excuse me, that fought Shakur Stevenson. So now it's another barometer, right? Like, okay, Nakatilia, let's see how that looks. And it seems to be like the formula that these promoters use, right? You know, just kind of keeping these like opponents and seeing how they'll end up performing. Nakatilia obviously hasn't been in the ring since November of last year. So, you know, not too long, but definitely won by TKO in the first round in that fight in November last year. So not much activity. And then the one before that was in August. So I'm, you know, how in shape, what am I really getting out of Jeremiah Nakatilia today? Tomorrow. Really don't know. Again, it's still a good common opponent for us to be able to go ahead and try to compare these things and see what we get out of it. But again, you fight one fighter in one time, you know, it doesn't work. What works for this side works for the other side, so to speak, right? Because let's say a fighter fights Nakatilia fought Shakur Stevenson a while back, right? A couple years back, if I'm not mistaken, right? And just to be exact, I guess I can just get the exact day of when that happened. And I think it's, let's see. Yeah, it was in 21. June 12, 21. So if you got to fight a Nakatilia that fought in June, he fought Shakur Stevenson in 21. You got 4 years later, here stands Nakatilia again with an up-and-coming contender. Got Abdullah Mason now is ready to face him. Yeah, it's a common opponent, but you getting 4 years later Nakatilia. You're getting who am I really getting? So how much, you know, barometer comparisons can I really make in that fashion when you're talking to a whole different fighter? So, but again, why they chose him as the opponent, don't know if it's the same formula like they always use, but it's going to be interesting to see how Abdullah obviously does with Nakatilia, given that Shakur Stevens is one of the common opponents. All right, so Troy Isley, of course, got to mention the champ, you know, the whole Olympic team. Those guys stick together for sure. And he'll be taking on Antoine Michelle William, which was just right now going on. The weigh-in was just going on right now. And, wow, you got Kelvin Davis really heated right now with Nahir Albright at the weigh-in. They talking smack to each other. Look at them, y'all. Yo, the Davis brothers get live. Listen, you got 3 brothers, man, and you know, you feed off each other's energy. You're in Norfolk, Virginia. You're in the building with all your peoples, man. Of course. Look what's going on. And right now you got Abdullah Mason next, stepping up into the scales. Abdullah Mason looks good. You know, he's lively. He's moving around. That's what I like to see, you know. Sometimes, you know, the fighters look just spent, man. The first fight they fight is that scale, so it gets a little crazy. You got to be able to make that weight, man, the right way. All right, you got Jeremiah Nakatilia going up to the weight scale first. And he looks like, you know, matter of fact. Let's see. 134.8 for Jeremiah Nakatilia. All right. Yo, it's the bro, James Benitez. What up, champy? Let me find out you jumping in a Border Wars card over there. I forgot. I think I seen a video of you. I don't know if it was you or somebody else talking about getting in the ring. But shout out to you, man. Stay blessed as well. Champ. All right, 134.8. 134.8 for Nakatilia. And I don't know who's next. Okay, now it's Abdullah. Let's get Abdullah going. Let's see Abdullah Mason. What are we looking at? 18-0. Let's. $134.5 for Abdullah Mason. There you go, y'all. It's a fight. 21-year-old Abdullah Mason versus 35-year-old Jeremiah Nakatilia. Wow. That's all I got to say. That's a lot. That's 14 years apart. 14 years, y'all. Shit crazy. Oh, wait a minute. There's some action going on the chat. What you mean? My man Supermax says James Duckniez. Oh, snap. He trolling. He ducked this work, Doomy. Damn, not Benitez. Nah. I don't believe you, man. Benitez came down and trained, man. I know what Benitez could do. Don't tell me he running. I don't think so. I think
you shouldn't talk anymore.
Nah, champ. I don't believe it, bruh. But let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ. You feel me?
All right, Abdullah Mason versus Jeremiah Nakatilia. We got a fight. And again, guys, you know, we're talking Edwin De Los Santos versus Keyshawn Davis. Of course, we're going to roll over into the Fabio Wardley versus Justis Huni card and talk more about the undercard there. We were talking a little bit about Troy Isley, of course. He's on the undercard. And we'll be able to get a good fight there. Who else? Keyshawn Davis. All right. 3-0. Got a couple of prospects here. 6-0 Derek Davis. And another debut. Patrick O'Connor debut. All right. Well, again, this is going to be an action pack. I think that, you know, the Davis brothers are bringing a lot of action. Abdullah. Yeah, this is an overall great card, man. I would have loved to have been live there. Actually been in Norfolk, Virginia, seeing this fight. I mean, it's electric right there right now. Electric, bro. And that's the experience, too, man. When you go to a fight, man, and you got that crowd, Coliseum experience, it's all you need, bro, to have a great night, bro. It's energy, man. We all feeding off that energy, too. You know, when you got a fighter that can pull a crowd in their hometown like Keyshawn Davis, then, you know, you're going to get that energy when you buy your tickets and you go watch this fight. And, you know, that's usually the key, you know, when you got a fighter. If he has that hometown support, yeah, that'll spread. That'll spread regionally, nationally, and really help, right, with the overall push of that fighter's brand and helps make fights and all that other stuff, you know. Gives you leverage, negotiations. So, yeah, Keyshawn Davis definitely right now. The D3 is crazy. All right, so let me get back to the comments because I don't know. Damn. There goes Super Mexican talking about hashtag DuckTales. Man said, check the group chat, Dooms. What group chats? Talk to me about it. Which one? Let me know. I'll hop right in there. I'm gonna have to regulate real quick, champ. So weigh-in going on right now, guys. It's going on right now. I think you got De Los Santos, who just came off the scale. Obviously, I'm going to pull back because I want to obviously hear, and I want you also to hear the exact weight that these fighters came in on. And there we go. Got you, champ. Checking it out now. Champ. Yeah, champ. He said, I'm going to keep it real with you, mine. I just saw the video you just sent. Oh, man, I missed the weigh-in again? Damn. Wow. There we go. There we go. All right, so let's see. How Edwin De Los Santos. Challenger. Edwin De Los Santos. He's standing tall. He's standing real tall right now. De Los Santos standing real tall right now. But he's smaller, bro. He's smaller, man. Now we about to watch Keyshawn Davis. Wait, did Jack catch exactly how much he was winning? All right, 134.7 for De Los Santos. Probably was easy. No problem. Let's say Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis, 134.7 for De Los Santos. Let's see Keyshawn now. Let's do this, champ. Let's do this. Bro, Keyshawn Davis looks big, bro. Yeah, man. Keyshawn Davis, he's just... What? He's way bigger, bro. Look at Keyshawn Davis's chest, right? Is way above the DraftKings pulpit. If you go back and you see De Los Santos, he's short, bro. I can't wait to see this face-off. It's 5'9", 5'8". It doesn't look like that, bro. Keyshawn looks bigger. Keyshawn looks way bigger, man. I don't know about y'all, man, but 5'9", 5'8" for De Los Santos, 5'9" for Keyshawn. I don't know. I don't believe it. I got to see the face-off now, because for some reason, at the press conference where De Los Santos tried to snatch the belt from Keyshawn, he looked smaller. He looked like he was grabbing up. Not gonna face off. What kind of Wackendorf ass bullshit was that? Oh shit, he overweight. He's over 4 pounds overweight for Keyshawn. I knew it, bro. He was looking big. Bro, Keyshawn Davis comes in 4 pounds overweight. You wildin'. You wildin', dog. Bro. 4 pounds over the weight limit, bro. He's 139, champ. Nah. That is basura, B. Stan De Los Santos said the first war just started. That is crazy, y'all. De Los Santos comes in. Keyshawn Davis comes in 4 pounds overweight. What kind of shit you doing? What kind of Ryan Garcia shit you doing, champ? A lot more motivation. Looking big as hell. What? Wow. They're about to talk to Keyshawn now, y'all. I don't think they're going to. You better let them face off that bullshit. It's crazy. Bro. Keyshawn comes in 4 pounds over, and he's already bigger. He said we're good. Yo, there's like a little action going on right now with the whole face-off. Talking about, like, I said, don't touch me. He said, "Don't touch me." Bro, look how much bigger he is. Look how much bigger Keyshawn is, bro. Yo, you could tell my man De Los Santos was freaking... He's got the sucked-in face. Meanwhile, you got Keyshawn Davis. Don't look like he's stressed at all. He had to give up some money or something. Yeah. Uh-huh. All right, let's see, man. Let's see where this goes, bro. Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos. Will he lose the weight? Will Keyshawn lose the weight? He got time. I think he got like an hour to lose that 4 pounds. Yeah. Let's see. 4 pounds over the weight limit. Let's see what she says. He's out. He's going to 140, champ. Wow. Something's going to happen. That's 4 pounds, man. That's some bullshit, bro. See, this is what I'm talking about, bro. Like, and there's no communication amongst camps, too. Like, yo, listen, our guy's not going to be able to make it. How about, you take an extra 4 pounds, too? There's no fairness in that, bro. If you know you're already overweight, why not contact the camps and negotiate on the weight? Be like, listen, let's not negotiate on the penalty of money, but let's. Maybe De Los Santos could have left a couple of pounds on. Maybe he could have left another 2-3 pounds off, or maybe he would have matched them, because it's definitely an advantage, man. It's definitely an advantage, and I'm not saying that De Los Santos, that I was picking De Los Santos to win, but that's so basura, bro. When you don't make the weight, man, and he came in there like he ain't even trying to make the weight. He already know, like, I'm out this weight class. This is what I was telling y'all, man. And it's exactly what we was talking about earlier. That Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis train that Mac up. That shit, one got to go up and one got to stay. And 140 pounds is the next up. So not surprising to me, but definitely a little surprising with the weight, man. And I hope that De Los Santos is compensated in the real way. You know what I mean? Because again, it's an advantage, and this is fighting, bro. This is you got your life on the line type shit. So that definitely is gonna put also an asterisk mark on Keyshawn Davis's win if he wins, right? It's gonna put an asterisk mark. Like, all right, you was 4 pounds heavy. That's it. You can't even take that with you. I think Keyshawn didn't even care about this weight division no more. He was on his way up. And he's big, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. Even before they said that he hadn't made the weight, I'm looking at him like he's big. He looks already hydrated. You know what I mean? When you really make the weight, if you look at De Los Santos' face and you look at Keyshawn's face, you see the resemblance difference, right? You know when you're cutting a lot of weight, you get a little... you look like your facial features are kind of caving in a little bit. You know what I mean? It doesn't always mean that you stressed out and your body's messed up, but it does show. We know what to look at. And Keyshawn definitely didn't look like he had trouble or he had any strain. And that's obviously because 4 libras, Holmes. Yo, shout out to the whole crew that's tuning in. Also, man, if you got something to say it on the chest. Stop playing. Hit you with this jab. Hit you with this motherfucking 3-piece. Stop playing. Jump on the chat. We're going to open up the phone lines too today. We got the whole phone line thing working. If you guys see the number up there, it's 1-856-624-3369. You guys can call in. If any of you want to jump on the show, I'll go ahead and put a StreamYard link on the chat, especially some of the veterans and shit. Y'all know who you are. And I'll bring you guys on. And if you don't got any way to dial too, you can use the StreamYard link to just jump on. You don't have to have visual if you don't want to. You can just take advantage of the communication to be able to talk about the fights that are happening tomorrow. You got Keyshawn Davis versus De Los Santos, which we just found out that Keyshawn Davis did not make weight. He did not make weight, 4 pounds over, and the show must go on, right? People bought tickets, and I think De Los Santos should be, and I believe will be, compensated for that disadvantage that he has to kind of subdue. It's like, imagine a fighter saying, no, I don't want to fight. It's not happening. It's like, it's not happening. This is why backup opponents are real important. You got to have those backups. You just never know what can happen. I mean, and again, fighters are going to be fighters, man. We never want to say no, like I'm scared because of 4 pounds. It don't mean much in the grand scheme of things, but when you're talking about cutting the weight, see, when you cutting that weight, it's hurting. It's hurting sitting around in a bathtub with steam towels all over you. You look like a giant white pile of shit and shit because you got all these towels around you. You're like warped into a towel cocoon. And then you got a guy that comes in and he's fucking 4 pounds over. That's horse shit. Shout out to my man Dueling Grams. Dueling Grammys says, happy to see you back. Cheer. I'm back, baby. It's like, nah, yo, good looking out. Dueling Grams in the building. One of the OG skis. Definitely one of the boxing alumni. All right. Yeah, so, yo, you guys, man, let me know what the heck you think about that, bro. That's crazy. 4 pounds over. And you know what? I might just, open up the phone lines right now. And that's not to say that I'm going to be ending the episode anytime soon. We're still going to be rocking out. But, since the weigh-ins just finished up, I kind of want to talk about this whole weight thing. The whole weight cut and everything else is real, real important to me. I hold it real close to the chest because there's just so many manipulations that go on in negotiations too. When you're negotiating terms in the fights or the contracts, it's like, and these guys want to put that 10-pound clause on you and, the rehydration. It's a mess, man. So I know that, it may not seem much to some, but it's a lot. 4 pounds is a lot, champ. Believe it or not, because I had to cut 4 pounds. You didn't have to. That means you got extra rest, extra chill. You were all right. You ate chips, motherfucker. You was eating chips and shit. Meanwhile, I'm stuck in a pile of towels, looking like a giant pile of fucking poop, warped with steam coming out, and I'm dying in there. And then you're out there coming in 4 pounds over. No bueno. Let's see if anybody says a peep now, because I know when Ryan Garcia did it, it was a huge deal, right? It was a huge deal. Obviously, it was a bigger fight. Obviously, it's a bigger fight, right? Because of the personas involved. But it's not to say that it's the same shit. Just coming in like it's nothing, dog. Get the fuck out of here. Shout out to Miss Check Share. She says, kill them. I don't know what that means, but hey, shout out to you. I don't know who you want me to hit with the... None says 50K a pound so far. For real, champ? Nah. That's what I'm talking about.
Got to give up that quick 50, 50, 50, 50, 200K. Damn, bro. Motherfuckers is really giving up 200K out here. Who paid that 200K? I don't know. See, sometimes it's like, bro, like, I'll pay the 200K. Imagine you got these big investors and shit. Like, you know, guys that sit behind the scenes are like, I got you, bro. Take that. 200K all day. Go be the best you can be. Because I don't know. Shit. 50K a pound so far. Shout out to Nun with this. I mean, let's verify. I don't know where you got that, Nun, but sounds about right. And shit. It's gonna sting. I don't know how much he's getting paid. Obviously, he's getting paid way more than that. But Doolin Graham says, any news on the penalties he's facing? Well, there you go, Doolin Grahams. None says 50K a pound so far. So we're going to see what that really looks like in a couple of hours. I'm pretty sure that the news will break on what that is looking like. If you guys see it, let me know. You know, Twitter, man. Twitter will be working real quick. So it's probably going to be out there already. And like I said, 50K sounds about right, None. It sounds about right. Damn, De Los Santos? It's crazy. De Los Santos is probably like, damn, bro, they set me up. Yo, De Los Santos like, yo, New York, yeah, they set me up. I don't even think De Los Santos knew exactly what was going on until his trainer kind of told him. Because at the beginning, he was taking it real light. Then I saw the trainer kind of whisper into his ear and tell him something. He was like, whoa. Like, yeah. 4 pounds. You the champ. Taking on a challenge. I mean, for what it's worth, De Los Santos didn't look too bad. I mean, he cut weight as he was supposed to. But he didn't look bad. He didn't look, like he was weakened. You are going to be a little weak regardless, y'all. That's just the way cutting weight works, man. I mean, when you cut weight, and anybody that's ever fought, they'll tell you. We're sitting there cutting weight, and you're literally just waiting to be able to put that weight back on. You're just, it's a very uncomfortable situation. I think it works a lot. As much as a weight cut works your physical, it weighs your mental a lot. And that's where the mind, man, has to kick up. But De Los Santos didn't look bad, so show must go on. But I don't know, Keyshawn, are we going to see that again? When does it become okay to just like come in 4 pounds? You know what I mean? It's like, damn. And is 50K, like Nunn said, a real? I mean, 50K a pound is money. So I'm not even going to stress that point, but. Yeah, because it is. I think 50K is some good money. I don't know how much Ryan paid. I think Ryan paid Devin Haney, was it $500,000 for the pounds that he was over. So I guess bigger purse, bigger fight, bigger penalty. But if you look at 50K a pound, yeah, that sounds about right. That's 200K, man. Whatever. Again, I'm not stressing it too much on, like, that had a huge advantage. And, like, I mean, I was picking Keyshawn Davis anyway. And now that I see the size different, forget about it, bro. Now it's stoppage. I said maybe 11th round stoppage, But the way it's looking, man, it's like Keyshawn just belongs in the higher weight divisions. I don't know how the heck he was doing it before. He was stressed out trying to make that weight because he's looking like Crawford. Like, you know what I mean? He's got Crawford's kind of body style and length. If you look at Keyshawn Davis's his arms, he has good length on his arms, man. And that's why when he puts his combinations together in his forward attack method, he's able to get around the guard and around the arm. And usually when you're going in for the liver, and I'll step back, right? When you step back, I don't want to step back off the mic, but when you step back, right, and I'll just increase the volume on the mic so y'all stay with me. You feel me? Matter of fact, that's not the one. This is the one. Yeah. So, if you guys can still hear me, right? So, when Keyshawn Davis is fighting and he's putting the punches together, arms are so long, right? That when he's going for that left rib shot or that left liver punch, he's able to almost circle his arms. Like if you ever see Navarrete is another one, long arms. And Keyshawn Davis' arms are so long, man. He just gets around. He's able to put the stick out and stop guys as they're coming in and come right back with a long, straight right hand. So, yeah, definitely does a lot for him, you know. Definitely does a lot for him, the size. So he's gone. That's it. Say goodbye to Keyshawn Davis, bro. 140, here we come. We were just talking about this stuff, too. How it transitions so quickly. Somebody had to stay, somebody had to go. He's out of there. He's off to the races, y'all. 140 pounds. Let's go. And who's at 140 pounds? Y'all already know. He's going up there, bro. They got some good fights at 140. Matter of fact, and we could talk a little bit about that. But matter of fact, we're going to just move forward right now to the Fabio Wardley card, guys. And if you guys didn't catch the actual weigh-in, you know, we could take a look at it right now and just kind of see what was going on. I know the fight card, I got Pierce O'Leary versus Liam Dillon. And that's for the EBU. That's the European Super Light weight and the WC International Super Lightweight titles. So the Pierce O'Leary and Liam Dillon is the only title fight. Well, that has any type of title for that matter. Anything that sticks out in the Fabio Wardley undercard, you know, honestly, Mike Perez kind of stuck out for me. Didn't know Mike Perez was still fighting. You know, he was always cruiser, but didn't know he was still fighting, man. Mike Perez. I think Mike Perez, I don't know how old he is. What is he? He is, matter of fact, I can't even get his age here. The Rebel, El Cubano. Damn, bro. I know he's up there in age, bro. I don't know if any of you guys could get his age. Well, he's 39. Matter of fact, it's crazy because I'm 42, y'all. And I'm calling him old. But I mean, for the sport, you know, for the sport, 39, yeah. I mean, obviously, as you increase in weight division, you get a little more time on your timeline as a fighter. You know, the lower weight divisions usually get out a little earlier. The heavier guys stay around a little longer. So, but yeah, Mike Perez is on the card, and he'll be fighting Stephen Ward. And Stephen Ward, too, you know, he's been around for a little bit. Nothing crazy. Let me see. Yeah, and I think that's about it for the Fabio Wardley card. I honestly really was looking forward to Fabio Wardley versus Jarrell Miller, man. The way that thing fell out was just crazy. Shit's nuts, man. The way, and again, fights fall out like, you know, shit happens, man. But I don't know if you guys know exactly who Justis Huni is, but even though he's coming out of left field, guys, all right, Justis Huni is a real fighter. What I mean to say by that is that he has a good amateur background. And, you know, these Australians, man, these Aussies, bro, are fucking tough as nails, man. And they pack a crazy punch. You know, some of the fighters that I've seen, even in the UFC that I've seen, they pack a mean punch, explosiveness. So, you know, don't get it twisted, man. Fabio, even though Fabio Wardley has you know, natural power. He's not a huge guy, but he has some real solid power. Knocks guys out that are much bigger than him, and he's able to really generate a lot of power for his weight, because he's not a huge heavyweight either. You know, when you're talking about huge wave heavyweights, like, you know, well, I'm going to mention Tyson Fury at the top of the mountain of the huge guys, but you guys understand. There's some big guys, AJ, all these other big guys. But Fabio carries that quick power, and he's able to place it, good punch placement. But But again, Justis Huni, which is a pretty cool name, like Justice. Sounds like a Marvel superhero name and shit. AKA JPH. That's the only AKA you could have thought of. Champ. He fought Andrew Tabiti in 23. Okay. He won. Unanimous decision. That was in 23, y'all. About 2 years ago. And I'm pretty sure there's other names that would probably have more. You could recognize more. I think Joseph Goodall. I would have to. Yeah, Joseph Goodall. Nah, he's an Australian. Again, Justis Huni, man, some of these guys, they come under the radar and, they slowly creep up and you start to see what's going on with these fighters, whether they're, real contenders and are able to stand up to the top of the medal of that heavyweight division. But Justis, don't be surprised, man. Don't be surprised if you get yourself a hell of a fight with Fabio Wardley. Last-minute replacement, so to speak, right? But hopefully just stays disciplined in the gym and he wasn't caught off guard. I like this fight. And again, do your homework on Justis Huni, and you'll see some of his pro his amateur. And matter of fact, we could take a look at it too while we're here. But again, if you guys want to take a look at Justis Huni's amateur career, decent, nothing crazy, nothing like Vasyl Lomachenko. Shout out to Vasyl Lomachenko again. They retired. If you guys didn't catch yesterday's episode, we talked about that and some of the major things that he did in the sport. Lomachenko was actually one of the guys one of the few guys, or probably the youngest boxing fighter to ever catch a belt. I think his third fight, he won a title. So a lot of things that Vasyl Lomachenko did. Only lost to Salido, Teofimo, and Devin. And he only has 18 fights. Crazy Lomachenko. All right, guys. So let's see what else we had here on the notes. Okay, so we did our Keyshawn Wardley versus Justis Huni, UK versus Australia. Can't say too much more about that, but I guess we'll swing back around to Teofimo Lopez finally breaks silence on why he didn't sign to fight Devin Haney. Is he ducking or dealing? Now, I personally think that Teofimo's dealing, right? I feel like he's gone through enough BS in his career with promotional company, whether it be money, purse negotiations, a bunch of things. So I think Teofimo these days is moving a little smarter and not too quickly. And don't believe the hype. Again, we're all going to be swinging for one team, right? And depending on who you're listening to out there in the boxing world, it will depend on what opinion you're really getting from them. Some will be siding with Devin, more with Devin, I think. And again, Devin has more social presence than Teofimo, not by a whole bunch, but definitely does. And the way this boxing media works too, man, I just can't. I can't always pinpoint the moles, right? The boxing media that's out there, getting a little Skrilla on the side from certain fighters or managements or promotion, whatever, right? You just never know what's going on behind the scenes. But even though they can lie to you and tell you that, they're in nobody's pockets, what you can see is how they act. And they will reveal themselves to you. Just see them for what my man DMX said. You can't really do nothing, right? You can't stress about liars. You can't stress about grimy people. Just see them for who they are, right? So it's like, what I mean to say is, like, when somebody is out there rooting for somebody, it's cool. It's your opinion. But you got to watch out for those markers. That they'll die on the sword defending that fighter, even if they know they wrong. It's like, come on, champ. Like, You know what I'm saying? Stevie Wonder could see you in his pocket, champ. So, with Teofimo Lopez, he opened up on that live spaces, and I'm actually gonna put on a little bit of the talk. We're gonna go through it. Shout out to the actual group. I think it's called Late Night Boxing Talks. I don't know exactly who was running that whole space, but I thought they asked some pretty good questions. Some of it, was kind of like, not hardcore, I'm trying to jab you type of questions. But matter of fact, there was no right crosses or hooks being thrown in that talk with Teo, right? It was more jabs, you know what I'm saying? Jabs to the chest, jabs to the body. But Teofimo was answering pretty good, man. So, you know what? You guys be the judge of it, right? And you could definitely catch this on YouTube. And Teofimo Lopez breaks silence on turning down Devin Haney fight, calls him corrupt, and Tank was right. So let's see what he says. We'll go ahead and listen to this a little bit, break it down. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. This is the Boxing Biz YouTube channel, podcast on all directories. So if you guys want to listen to a sound, go ahead and check us out. We're on all major sound platforms, streaming, also on and I gotta actually get that link out there for you guys. We're on Twitch, but right now we're streaming, I think, on Alex Doomsday Lioness YouTube channel and the Facebook channel. We'll start streaming, multi-streaming more than that, and as we come along. But yeah, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Stop being cheap. I'll blurb that out. But yeah. All right, let's just start this off. All right, guys. It would say Dulingram says he must have had the munchies. Yeah, Keyshawn had the munchies. And guess what, man? That fight now can be made. You got Keyshawn Johnson now that's going to be going up to holler at Teo. All right, let's listen to some of this stuff, all right? Let's take a listen. All right. Well, that wasn't it. All right. Let's go. Oh, that wasn't it either. All right. All right. All right, you heard what he just said, right? So Teo's arguing that Devin don't even deserve a fight with him after that lackluster performance, right? Now, this is boxing, right? And you're only as good as your last fight. This is the candle that we hold to everybody. When we talk about what have you done for me lately, we talking boxing. So is Teofimo wrong for talking this? Is he making a righteous point? Does it matter? Because from what I see, we hold the candle right over the head of every fighter. You're gonna get hit with some of this wax. You know what I'm saying? You hold it over the candle over the head, and you're telling them, "What have you done for me lately?" And Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez was whack. Stop playing. It was whack. I don't care what you're going to tell me, whichever way. I don't care if you're a Ramirez camp or Haney camp. Y'all had a whack-ass fight. It's like Skull and Canelo. I don't care what you say. Oh, it was Canelo fight. Oh, it was no. It was a whack-ass fight. Whack fights happen, right? And based off that opponent, like Canelo can say, I couldn't make it a better fight because I had Skull. No, you're supposed to make it happen. All right. Now, obviously, there's levels to being on your bike in the ring. Get on your bike. Yeah, you want to rest. You don't want to avoid some damage, whatever. But it was just too much. It was way too much. So I'm saying this to say this.
if you had a bad performance, should you get that opportunity, right? You had the Ryan Garcia fight fall through. Okay. So automatically you get Teo, you know, when Teo was asking for these other fights. And again, I'm not in total agreement that he was going to get boots anyway. But is he making a point that because of the lackluster, remember the position that Teo has to hold, right? He's been through the ringer to get into his position. So he feels like some of these guys, they just get these opportunities and it's just not making sense to him. But you make it make sense to me, right? Let's go back to the tape. Now, I don't know if I got a problem with going to Riyadh. I mean, shit. You know, I heard they treat fighters good. I mean, I've heard stories here and there where it's like a little different. Like Rolly has some things to say when he was in the city, but we don't know. Actually, you know, obviously Rolly upset that whole situation. But going to Riyadh is not a huge issue. I don't know. I don't think I agree with Teo there. You do want fights here in the States, obviously, and that's just, you know, depending on what it is. Usually, I mean, for the fighter himself, I mean, just care about how much you're getting paid, right? And obviously, you want to be able to acclimate to certain time zones and climates. So, okay, you know, you get there a month in advance or whatnot. So, you know, you built the fight in the States. Yeah, of course, the fights are all being built in the States. You know what I mean? Fighters, the American fighters are from America. And, you know, they do well. In depending obviously on what type of ticket seller you are as a fighter, but they do well out here. Don't disagree with that. But going to Riyadh, no problem. Okay. I hope y'all heard that. So, see, this is what I'm saying. Teofimo he's not playing around with where you're going to push me around and make me fight. I could go fight these guys. Tank? What's a bigger fight? Tank versus Teo or Devin versus Teo? Come on, man. Teo got options. He's got options right now. He just got to pay that fee to top rank. That's all he got to do, but he can make it happen. I still don't believe too much the Jaron Ennis Boots fight got too much weight. I'm just I'm thinking about that was just a ploy for Teo to kind of like, you know, move his chess pieces around on the chessboard, because this is what it is when you're in boxing. It's a chess game, in the ring, out of the ring. So, you know, what he's saying right now is saying, I got options. And if I got options, that means I got other negotiations that I can get into. How much bigger can the bag get? And y'all over here talking about ducking. I don't want to hear that shit, man. Y'all are funny as hell sometimes with the whole running shit. Matter of fact, look who hopped in. Bernie's Bites 818. Bro, if that's a spot, let me know. I'm there. It says Teo just needs to stay active and he can make his name bigger. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and you can stay active when the right pieces of paper are hitting the desk, bro. You offering me the right thing, I'm fighting. If I got to wait around, jump through hoops, hit backflips all day to try to get a decent payday when I've been doing the right thing since God knows when. Teo's been hitting backflips for y'all for years. And yeah, like 5 years ago, I think 2019, Devin was trying to fight then too. And I don't know what exactly happened with that, but yo, fights can marinate. He don't got to fight Devin right now. He could still fight him. They've been marinating for a little bit, right? Calling each other out at the fights, you know. And Bill's always there. You know, Bill, he ain't playing. And he talks his talk. So it's like it can happen.
But is it right for Teo right now? If he has other potential negotiations available to him, why should he run to the... Is Riyadh season, is Turk really offering the biggest bag? Is he really? I'm pretty sure PBC got some skrill. They got money. They can offer a big bag too with benefits. So it's like you gotta forget. You guys forget that, like, you know, we've been here. We've been negotiating out here in the States. And Teo did go back on some of the dumb shit he says. Again, Teo sometimes just throws up out of his mouth. It is what it is. And obviously you don't want to be in a situation where you got, you know, bad relations with major players in the boxing game. And that's what it is. Do the right thing. Be a man. Apologized. And I'm not saying that Turk can't come through and give him a bigger bag. That can happen. But right now, negotiating. I'm going to stand my ground and I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait a little bit. Super Mex says, yo, where's the tiny violins for Teo? What's going on here, Doom? Luckiest. This is it right here. You see this? The smallest violin I'm playing for you, champ. Y'all be hating. Let me continue. Y'all be hating on Teo. Y'all stuck on that. And again, I got nothing against Dev. I like Dev. But y'all sometimes be harping for the Haney team without really thinking about what y'all talking about, bro. Let's continue. Oh. So now he's claiming that this move, basically, this offer, this concoction or this creation of this fight was for mostly geared towards the benefit of the Haneys. All right, this is what Teofimo's claiming right now. Basically, this move was more so for the Haneys. And why? Why? Let's listen. They published it while I was reading the contract. So before Teo even signed or even read the contract, should I say, they had published those Twitter messages and posts. They already had, so they didn't even wait for Teo to answer or nothing. See, this is what you guys got to understand. These are media ploys. Yo, y'all got to understand the media moves real dusty out here. There's only a few clean of us out here, champ. The media moves real dusty and behind the shadows. Call them Shadow Realm Dusty Boys. They be in the dust. They be moving real dusty out here, bro. And this is what happened. So it's like, okay, you sent out a contract offer. You had it like hours before I did. You had the contract hours before I did. You posted I didn't sign when I ain't even read the daggone contract yet. What kind of fast? Yo, they move fast. That's some real. Yeah, I gotta drink some agua for that. Let me drink some water, yo. Hold on. Y'all got me started. All right. Matter of fact, let me see what my man Dio said. Dio says Keyshawn came in 4 pounds over, shaking my motherfucking head. That's right. Your boy came in gordo. He a gordo. Let's see if y'all get at Keyshawn the way y'all did the Ryan. Let's see. I know the Ryan Garcia Dev fight was bigger, so I'm not really, harping too much on that. But let's see what y'all say now. 4 pounds? My brother, Keyshawn was looking great. He ain't look like he should. stressed at all for the weight. Meanwhile, you look at De Los Santos, he like this. For y'all that looking that can't see me and shit, I'm putting the sucked in face look. Like come on, bro. It's not cool, bro. He ain't care about nothing. He's like, man, I'm on my way up. I'm on my way to the 140-pound division. Got big fights coming. If none said that 50K a pound, then shit, 200K he's giving up. Shit, I didn't even look into the purses of how much he's getting paid on this. Is 200,000 a real hit to him? Who knows? But he didn't even care about going back and making it. So yeah, man, that's how it goes down. I have a real qualm with that shit too, cause it sucks, bro. Shout out to my man Dio. All right, Super Max. Let's see what you're saying now. Super. You say the Boots fight ain't there, so what's a bigger fight for Teo than Devin? Tank is busy and Ryan just got surgery. All right, champ. All right, so you went and did the whole forensic analysis on where Tank is. Tank is busy. Ryan just got surgery. All right. You're going to go that way, right? Hold on. My man Dio back in the building. He says, don't cover for Teo. Duck Loma rematch. Quack, 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 quack. Huh? Yeah, y'all definitely on the duck for Teo train, man. How is he ducking? Man, let's just take a look at what's going on in the landscape, man. Y'all keep saying this craziness. Talking is ducking. When in all actuality, my man's just trying to negotiate a better bag, a better position for himself, you know. And again, I don't cover Teo on everything, right? Because sometimes, like I said, it's just I don't know what's going on, and when he says certain things, and when he, I just don't know what's always going on with Teo. But one thing I know is that he's definitely not a ducker. He definitely ain't a racist. That whole shit, I don't know what's going on with all that bullshit. I just don't get it. Sometimes I'm thinking it's AI, but then it turns out it's him. I just don't get it. Let's check out to see who he has actually as opponents right now, because a good point, right? I'm not saying that the Super Max ain't making a real point. Because, sometimes certain fights are not available to you, depending on what's going on. But see, Super, you ain't say what Tank was busy with, so I still don't know what that is. So busy with what? Of course, he got Roach. He got the Roach fight, but again, Teofimo, he can stay inactive for a little longer. He can stay inactive a little longer and buy some time for himself to see what opens up for himself. Might not be the Tank fight, but things open up. And at 140, come on, dog. You had the nerve to tell me who else? Come on, Super. The fight. The Brooklyn fight is Richard Hitchison and Teofimo Lopez, champ. And right now, the way my man Richard Hitch is in, man, he hungry, bro. He's trying to bust through that gate. He ain't trying to hear no bullshit from anybody. My man Richardson was quiet for a while, just buying time. But he got the position right now. IBF champ. Shout out to the IBF. Champ. You got a real fight with Richard Hitchison and Teofimo Lopez. In my opinion, a better fight. The only reason I say better, man, is because, damn. It's like, listen, I'm with Dev. He a winner. It's just that this last fight had so much expectancy based off the stuff they were talking about in camp that, it didn't turn out the way that a lot of people thought. So I'm just like right now, like, I got to go with Richard Hitchison being a better fight. But Super, you talking about it's not a bigger fight it's not bigger than the Devin fight. Why? Like ticket sales, pay-per-views. Like, what are you talking about? You saying that Hitchison got no pull, that he don't got no real salsa over there to make it really happen in Brooklyn? That's a New York affair. That's a family affair, bro. Everybody coming out. And we do it in the States. We do it in the Barclay, in Brooklyn. You crazy. You know? I mean, you could do it at the Madison Square Garden, too. Big room style. But if you want to just keep it Brooklyn all the way, Barclay. Richard Hitchison, Teofimo. Let's go, champ. And I remember they were talking. I mean, look, as far as big names, yeah, you're right. It's Devin and Richard Hitchison really has real big names. Because, you know, we had Subriel Matias at one point that was being thrown around for Tio. They were talking hella shit to each other. Look at Super Mex talking about, champ, let's not do this. You know it's not bigger than the fight with Devin. No, I don't know. I don't know. Where we doing this fight? If we doing it on the East Coast in New York, bro, it's huge. Richard Hitchison is just about to fight Kambosos. That means Richard Hitchison is going to be exposed to that market as well. Right now, Richard Hitchison is on his way up. He's on his way up. I'm just saying that Dev is not the only big fight that can happen across the board. He talking about you know it's not bigger than the fight with Devin. How am I wilding? How am I wilding? How am I? And look, there's not too many. If you're talking about star power, I get it, right? Ryan Garcia can turn back around and come back, and he has that star power. It's a big fight. When you say big fight, is it just big like it's just like, oh, the glitz and glamour of the fight, or is it a good fight? You know, a fight that we want to see. And how much does he get paid? Now, if you're talking about just money fight, if that's what you're talking about, then I guess I can for now, yeah, that would be the money fight, Devin. But I'm not basing everything I'm not saying what a big fight is a big fight just based off money. If we want to say, okay, what's the biggest paying money fight, then yeah, we could probably just stick to that and Ryan Garcia, right? Devin, Ryan Garcia, big fights. Shit. Rolly's in great position now. You know? Rolly's in great position now. Why not a Rolly and Teofimo? Well, no, Rolly's up there. Oh, well, that's right. Rolly's on at the next level, so okay, we can't do that. But I mean, look, if you got guys like Rolly Rolando, excuse me. Yeah, because Rolly. Damn, where was Rolly at actually? Rolly's at 147, right? He fought at 147, yeah, or 140. God, I just had a brain fart. Don't know what that was. Let's see. All right, so Supermax is coming back. He want to spar. I think Supermax is trying to spar, y'all. Said, nah, Saudi is nasty work, though I'll give you that. He says Saudi is nasty work. So he's busy too. CTO and Devin are available right now, champ. Yeah, they're available right. All right. So, matter of fact, oh yeah, there you go, Rolly. I love that. There we go. Hit him up with the bro. Tio can move up and grab a third division strap. I love it. See, you here with me. See how things start opening up? Like things can start opening up. You got to understand, Tio, whether we want to believe it or not, was challenging Jaron Ennis. Who are we kidding? Who's ducking who? Your man's is either he's looking down. He's looking down what's going on in that landscape, and he's looking up what's going on in that landscape. And then I got to figure out what fights can really happen. What fights can I really make here that's going to give me that leverage, make me that bag, and have stipulations that are fair across the board, bro. It's a lot of negotiating going on, champion. Shout out to my man Adam in the building. Adam says, Tio was using Tank, Boots, and Crawford name for clout. Damn. I know who Adam with. It's all good, champ. All right, you know what I'm saying? I know you with the Haney team, which is nothing wrong with that. You talking about clout? It's not even that. He's just listen, if he's mentioning Tank, it's because he's saying it can happen. Boots, it can happen. Crawford now, obviously during the beginning, that was one of the first names that was popping out. And you know, we don't believe some of the stuff that Teo says, but like, bro, he's proven time and time again he will fight. And as far as Crawford, yeah, I didn't think that he was. I think he was trying to leverage some positioning and to see what exactly, you know, moved across the board. But yeah, but Tank, mentioning Tank, yeah, it's worth mentioning. Stop playing, champ. You got this.
Let's go, champ. You feel me?
Stop playing, champy. Adam says, Teo ain't gonna fight no Boots. Come on, mine. He ain't gonna fight him. Bro, why? See, the thing is that all right, so then you're telling me that a guy like Conor Benn can go up and fight a guy like Eubank, but a guy like Teo can't go up and fight a guy like Jaron Ennis. Like, there's disadvantages too in that fight for Jaron, man. He's still making 147, but I'm telling you, no matter how much these guys say that it's easy, it ain't easy. It gets harder and harder. So I know that if they were to say, you know what, you want to fight Jaron? Let's fight. And they put that together, then there's going to be a little bit of advantage also for Teo because, you know, he doesn't have to stress out. He's going to be stronger. He's going to be going up in weight. And obviously, you know, he's not like he's jumping up 2 weight divisions, you know. He's going to be jumping up 1. So, you know, he'll be doing much better. He'll be, you know, he'll have his advantages. And y'all act like Teo can't fight. Come on, man. I know my man Jaron is the truth, but y'all acting like he can't fight. Like they can't box there. You think that Jaron's going to beat the shit out of Teo like he does all the other guys you've seen him with? Nah, champ. Don't work like that. I'm not saying that you know, I'm not saying that one or the other wins. You know, it would be a good fight. Y'all don't want to see good fights. Y'all just want to see whatever the media is pushing out to see. Teo has said, as this is Adam, Adam, stop playing, champ. He says, Teo has said he wants to fight Tank, Crawford, Boots, Matias, and Norman, and hasn't fought one. Yeah, but you got to understand, right? Be a foreteller, right? If he's mentioning all these guys that you just, and I'll put them up again, right, so that everybody can see them, right? If these divisions, these guys are in higher divisions. These guys get ready because the takeover is gonna eventually go up. So he's already stabbing at those names now, right? Whether he meant that he wanted to fight Crawford now or not, but he's stabbing at those names already. Because Teo too, bro, been making these weights for a long time, man. Listen, these guys got to move up. Life is calling. Adam says Teo could fight Ennis and compete, but Teo, kind of like Canelo. He don't want to fight guys that are serious threats. Oh, but Teo kind of like Canelo. Dang, he just put. So you're saying basically that Teo's like Canelo. So you're saying that Canelo is a fighter that likes to pick his fights with opponents that are not going to hurt him, right? Is that what you're saying? I'm going to have to hit you with it, champ. Stop playing.
Fatality.
That's it. Fall on your sword, champ. Fall on your sword. How you going to say that? How you going to say that Teo be cherry picking? Like, and honestly, we could get into the Canelo part too, because, you know, for a long time, Canelo fights everybody and anybody that you want, right? Canelo gets to this status where he has the ability to actually turn down fights and leverage things in his favor. You want to go ahead and call him a cherry picker or whatever the hell that meant. that he don't want to fight guys that are serious threats. You crazy? Acting like Canelo hasn't been fighting everybody. How dare you, champ? Stop playing. Canelo been fighting everybody you put in front of him, bro. He went up weight divisions. What are you talking about? Doesn't want to fight guys that are real threats, bro. Go to the mirror right now and smack yourself. Love you though, bro. But yeah, comparing it to Theo, stop playing, champ. Stop playing. Adam still with it. Says there are no killers on Teo's resume. Damn, bro. So what was Vasily Lomachenko? I thought he was like the sniper and shit. Yeah, crashing down. Matter of fact, let's go back to the Teo. Let's go back to Teo, man. He's waking y'all up to the reality of boxing when you don't want to play by the rules, when you don't want to go ahead and be on some fucking led astray and do whatever the hell we want you to do. You listen, fighters got to take control of their career. Not everybody has the connects to and all the other shit that goes along with all the leveraging and advantages that are needed because there's shit going on in the shadow realm. Let's go. Wow. Teo's claiming that the Haneys have their pockets in the media's pockets. I don't know how that works, but so you say so Teo's claiming that basically the Haneys, pay the media to push certain narratives and to promote certain situations. And like I tell you guys, this is for a long time now we've been living in this matrix that is social media and the ability to leverage fights off of social media. We got guys like Jake Paul and many others who have taken full advantage of media. Ryan Garcia as a fighter, social media. So social media is a very, very competent and powerful tool when making fights. And just like in the reality of life, when you look at news, when you look at certain programs, you're programming the public, right? When you turn on the TV and you put on a quote unquote programs, you have programs, right? You're being programmed. So the social media push, you guys got to see that, that's what I'm saying. You got to stay woke, man. Don't let these promoters and these social media guys, push these narratives unless it's a solid narrative, right? But sometimes these narratives are being pushed and you just don't know what hand is there pushing these around and moving the pieces because it won't be the first time that I've heard things like that, and it still happens now. And like I said, you guys could actually notice what reporters and podcasters and the likes of that, that are in the boxing space, what can happen and the influence that goes along with it. So I'm not saying that he's out of pocket for saying it because it does happen. But who else? And Supermex had said that, fighting a guy like not fighting anybody else, but I mentioned Rolly. Rolly was a good fight. So there's still some good fights that can happen outside of this Devin Haney fight, right? Let's keep going with this though, because again, I feel like the guys that were on this late night boxing talk, they had some pretty good questions at times. Let's keep going. And again, this is late night boxing talks. Some of the clips that were taken, questions that were asked. So shout out to you guys. let pick up your public persona. That's what Tio was talking about, man. He wants. Wow. So there was 2 times that this fight could have happened, right? And there was no lashing, right? There was no kickback, no blowback for Devin Haney at all, or for them at that time either. So, I mean, I don't remember people really crashing down on them. I think it was kind of swept under the rug, and fighters were kind of just fights were just kind of happening. But there were, remember, guys, this was supposed to happen 2 times before. Let's keep going. Yeah, you definitely got to stay in shape, man, because if you're negotiations and contracting and fight making, if it's if it's like along the lines of what Teofimo goes through, you got to stay in shape. Imagine not being in shape and shit. You don't know when the hell opportunity is going to come, and then you're out of shape. That's why you got to stay in super shape all year round. Ready, because there's no, there's no 1, 2, 3 fight deal already in line where, you already know what you're doing for that year. Yeah, being a free agent's tough. It can get real tough. All right. It's crazy because some of the speakers on this were really pushing for Tio to say yes, right? And he brought up a good point right there, right? You got all the odds against you, and you go ahead and you win. Everything's gonna be great. You're gonna be bigger. But how many times is Tio supposed to do this? How many times is he supposed? He's in a better position now? Why does he have to backtrack and do that? Why does he have to sacrifice so much? And we don't know exactly what that is yet. All I'm saying is that there could be other opportunities that could be in the works, and he doesn't want to do anything brash. Anything that's gonna later down the line is gonna kick himself in the ass. Like, oh, I should have just kind of held my chips or held my cards in my hand and waited. So yeah, let's keep going. Let's see what's going on. Bam. Look at that. Look at that. And sometimes as a fighter, you just don't know, or you're scared, or you don't want the public to see you as somebody that's ducking, and you got all these influences around you, and people are really worrying more about the money than what it is about your career and your health, and you're just a boxer trying to find good people around you. And I get it. He could have did what he did Kambosos didn't have to happen. You know, so many postponements. You're lagging out the fight. Your body's getting deteriorated. You peaked, and now you're on your way down. It's just not. It's not good. And these are the tactics that are used in boxing. It's not just the ring tactics. It's not just about pivoting your foot and throwing left hooks. It's a lot of other things that are going on behind the works. Hydration clauses, ring size, bunch of crap, man. What's going on? And sometimes, you know, depending on where you are in your career, you can have that leverage. I think Teofimo had that leverage by the time he got to Kambosos to be able to put his foot down and you know, go another route. But he didn't know any better. So now you learn from your mistakes. Yeah, belts matter because belts is what puts you in a position. You know, every time I see the fighters get their first title shot or title belt, excuse me, you start to see the shift in everything, the career, the gear. I mean, even the way they're presenting themselves, they matter. They matter. It's not until you get to levels like Canelo's levels of you know, of where you're or somebody like Ryan, right, where you can actually make money without the belts, right? But positioning is obviously very important, and the belts bring that. Okay, shout out to Elia Israel. Let's go, champ. Thanks for tuning in. He says, new Keyshawn Davis song called My City by Elia Israel. Check it out and thank you. Shit, throw the link up there, champ. Throw the link up there. I'll pin it to the top. See what the song's about. Definitely check it out. Champ. All right, so let's go back. Let's go back. There's more to come. Yeah, the rankings, even though the rankings do matter, it's about who sells more, right? Like we just mentioned, Ryan Garcia. We mentioned some guys that can do without the belts, right? They, you know, Tank, you know, big star power guys. They can do without the belts, but not everybody can do without the belts. Shout out to Los Boxing. Shout out to Los Boxing. Even though he's from New York and shit, we're not gonna say he's biased. All right, listen, hear him out, right? Again, he points out a decent fact, right? Richard Hitchison is undefeated. My man hasn't lost. So, you know, is that? Would you say that Richard Hitchison getting the Teofimo fight is too fast, or it's too soon of a big fight for him? Like, what is it? You know what I mean? Like, why isn't that the fight that you guys want to see or talk about? A fight that in Brooklyn can bring a lot of attention, right? Like we just said before, Brooklyn, Barclay, got the whole East Coast, right? We riding, city shut down, got everybody watching it. You know what I mean? Great fight. Great fight. It's like, bro, do we want to see the Devin Haney fight? You asking me, do I want to see the Devin Haney fight? I don't want this episode to be twisted, right? I want to see the Devin fight. I'm not saying take the Hitchison fight instead. I'm saying that there's other options on the table. Why do I have to automatically sign if I'm not happy with whatever the terms are? None of y'all are in front of those contracts, so I don't want to hear about what you think. We got to ask these fighters, what is it in the contract that you don't like? We don't know that yet, right? Maybe there's nothing wrong in the contract. $10 million is a lot of money, y'all. Maybe that's not it. It's not the money. It's just leveraging in situations. What's next? I'm telling you, we still might get the Devin Haney fight versus Teo. We might still get it. But things got to make sense for Teo in order for that to happen. Teo is not ducking Devin. Y'all need to cut that shit out, bro. That bullshit. Ain't nobody ducking. Nobody.
Let's go, champ. You feel me?
Stop playing. Any of y'all that think that's ducking going on? Psst. Y'all are nuts, bro. Let's keep going. He said, I ain't ducking him. I ain't getting knocked out. Why would I duck? If you a fighter, right? A boxer. Let's keep it in the boxing game. Shout out to the MMA world, UFC. Champ. Stick to the boxing. If I'm boxing, who am I scared of? Who am I dodging, right? Who am I like, yo, that's that dude? I'm not scared. I'm not running around talking about the dude that's known for moving around and hitting guys with good counter shots. I'm talking about the guy like Mike Tyson who's knocking guys out. Those are the guys that have always been avoided, right? You're avoiding the knockout. Nobody wants to get knocked out. Why do you think Wardeley was always avoided? Why do you think Wardeley was always talked on the way he was talked on? Why do you think Wardeley even stuck around for so long? Wardeley has that in him. He has that strength, that punching power. Shit don't go nowhere. That shit it's been given, God-given. And those are the guys that you watch out for. Those are the guys you're scared of. Those are the guys that get avoided. Those are the guys you duck. This is facts. I'm not ducking the guy that's running around. Stop playing. Nobody ducking nobody. All right? This just has to make sense. This has to make more sense to Teo for Teo to take it. If this fight was supposed to happen 2 times already in the past, then that means that there was interest there anyway. There was interest there always. This has been marinating, man. Listen, we're still going to get this fight. That's my opinion. I'm just saying that a lot of people coming down on Teo like it's all Teo's fault. Y'all falling victim to this fast play on the social media with the contract being y'all all falling for it. All of y'all. Straight up talking all this crazy shit. Talking about ducking and all this other shit. Stop playing, bro.
So you shouldn't talk anymore.
All right, let's go back. What else we got going on? I mean, look, I guess it's a lot of like, not conspiracy theory situation, but I guess so. A lot of conspiracy theory situations that can happen, right? And, Theo's trying to tap into that. I mean, look, from what I've heard, all the fighters, promoters, anybody that's gone to go see fights and stuff, like, you get treated pretty daggone good out there in Saudi, whatever religion, whatever race. Still haven't heard anything bad out there, right? Rolly was the one talking about they didn't give him a hotel room and all this other stuff when he was in New York, or that he didn't like how he was treated, right? Yeah, I mean, fair to say, right? You're out there, you're with your people, and you're Muslim, and of course, you have that connection with your brothers. So I get it. Devin Haney would have a better connection over there. Now, is that gonna affect whether or not you could beat Devin Haney? I don't think so. You know what I mean? So I think that's just more of Teo talking along the lines of like conspiracy type theory type of avenue of thinking. You know what I mean? Train of thought type of thing. Not that it weighs too much because, again, you get treated pretty good out there in Saudi, and going out there, I mean, come on, you're fighting in Riyadh season, right? Riyadh, you're getting paid well. That's what's been said by all the fighters that fought in Turkey's fights. So I don't think it's that. I don't think it's the whole, Devin, having an advantage over there because he's Muslim. I don't think that's a huge deal. And or has any weight in why he wouldn't want to fight him. I think that's lame right there, even though, again, when you're falling along the lines of conspiracy theories and, seeing things for what they are, I can see where he's coming from, right? Teo's not just saying anything crazy. Technical boxing. All right. And look, man, if you want to check this out, this was actually, well, matter of fact, real quick to the chat. Elia Israel says, did you get it? Where did you send it, my brother? Where did you send the link? Did you send it here on the Doomsday channel? Did you send it on the Boxing Biz channel? Where did you send it? All right. I didn't see anything, so I don't know where you sent the... Let me know where you sent the link, Elia. Okay. Yeah, and you guys could check this out, obviously, online, and you can continue to see some of the points that were being made. Still, maybe another 20 minutes, something like that were on there. But Teofimo Lopez, again, came back with that. Just figured it was worth talking about, see if anybody else had an opinion. Remember, guys, this is a call-in show. I'm ready actually to open up the phone lines. Phone is 1-856-624-3369. You can call in and state your piece. Don't be scared, homie. You know what I'm saying? Step into the ring and throw your 1-2. Stop playing. Phone lines are open, 1-856-624-3369. And we're taking calls in now. Chill. And remember, we'll keep the phone lines open for a little bit. If nobody calls in, I'm gonna go have some lunch.
About the fight.
You feel me?
Everybody out there know I beat him. Everybody out there know I beat him. But let me talk something. Let me let y'all know. Y'all know I beat that boy. Y'all know I beat that boy. Y'all know I beat that.
Y'all know I beat that boy. All right, 1-856-624-3369. Call in. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we're talking Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos. Weigh-in happened. You got Keyshawn Davis, who came in 4 pounds overweight. Straight disrespectful. Said, I don't care. I'm on my way up. Last fight happening at that weight is with De Los Santos. Keyshawn Davis is moving on up. He looked big as fudge. That mofo was big. I'm looking at him next to De Los Santos like, dang. De Los Santos, obviously, he's going to probably get paid for still fighting. None said it was $50K a pound. If it is, that's 200 stacks. So, shit. I would have made the weight, I'll tell you that. Paying no 200 grand. Hell no. But it looks like he already knew what was going on, to tell you the truth, man. Keyshawn ain't even trying to lose the weight. They told him he had an hour. He said, I ain't even about that life. Show must go on. And, of course, we also have Fabio Wardley versus Justis Huni, which to me is going to be it's going to turn out to be a good fight, decent fight. Even though we expected Jarrell Miller to be in there. That's what's happening tonight. And, of course, Keyshawn Davis with his brother on the card, Calvin Davis. You have Troy Isley. And you have a bunch of, pretty good fights that I think will make the night pretty good. Norfolk, Virginia is going to be lit. And I think the Wardeley fight's going on in Portman, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Portman Road Football Ground in Ipswich, Suffolk, United Kingdom. Shout out to the UK too, man. Haven't seen none of my UK brethren, bro. Shout out to the UK. Been thinking about what I can do for you guys early morning. I know there's a 5-hour difference, so it's like 5 in the morning out there when it's like 12 at night over here. But let me know if any of the UK listeners are listening, man. Let me know if you got any ideas of times for me to do, or maybe fights. I know the Wardeley fight was popping this weekend, so we'll leave it at that. Jam. All right. Remember, full line, 1-856-624-3369. Go ahead and reach for the phoneage. Call in, Skype, landline, satellite phone, whatever. You got 2 cups with a string, call in. I'll put you on and state your 3 minutes of boxing talk. And I'll tell you, be honest with y'all, stomach is calling out to me. So if you guys do not call in the next 2 minutes, I'm out of here. I'm going to go get some food. 1-856-624-3369. And if anything else pops up, actually, anything else is breaking through, I'll come back on for another show. So remember to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you like what you're listening to. Say, you know what? I'm going to roll with Doomy here at the Boxing Biz. Then you go ahead and do that. Hit that notification bell as well so you know when we're going live. Bringing you the latest and greatest in boxing talk. All right, man. Again, appreciate everybody that tuned in. And he said Lial says I put it in the chat. Nah, man, I don't see it here in the chat. Yeah, I still don't see it. Maybe it's just not going through. Oh, it won't let me share the link. It's on YouTube. Okay. All right. So, well, hit me up on IG, man. Hit the Boxing Biz on IG. Send me the link on IG. And let me take a listen to it, man. Maybe we could, we could feature it on the show, all right? Go ahead and send it to me on the Boxing Biz IG. Remember, guys, we're on all platforms. Check me out on the Boxing Biz Facebook, Boxing Biz TikTok, Boxing Biz IG. Alex Doomsday Linus channel is still open. I think we're like at 960 something subscribers there. Took a couple of breaks, but we're here now, and the community's booming, man. Community's booming. Boxing is live, and we're always talking about boxing is here, there, situation here, there, but we constantly moving forward. Boxing sport has been around for, we're going to go back to the Roman times. Hundreds and hundreds of years, maybe thousands. All right, Elia, I'll check that out on the Boxing Biz whenever you do send it. Everybody that tuned in, man, appreciate y'all. We're here at the Boxing Biz YouTube channel. Check us out again across all social media platforms, the Boxing Biz. You can check me out on Alex Doomsday Linus. Alex Doomsday Linus on the IG for the personal. And we'll get this community bumping. And I think that's it, right? Nobody else? All right. All right, y'all. See y'all later. If not, tomorrow's fight day. Cheers.